Hi everyone. Oh my goodness. It's been a day. I'm going to tell you. I know this is going to be a great cyber reading because I've had a hard time getting online. So if you guys are out there, go on and log in because I am finally live. Well, I guess I could stop being so rude and just say hello. I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari. You're here, doctor. And I've got a couple of buttons on. I'm going to kind of talk about those while you guys are logging in. Of course, I love my hair. You know that. And of course, I'm going to do a little something with my hair. It's gotten a little bit longer. And I have my girl trick button on and my Fitbit, because this is what we do. We're walking, we're moving. So I'm excited about my girl trick button and my I love my hair button. And I am going to start the show because today we're going to start a new book. We're going to start the book. The book. Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. You know, we just ended Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair, and it seems like it's been like a month trying to get Every Woman's Guide started. But I'm pretty excited about it, guys. I'm so sorry that I'm late getting on, but I've had some technical difficulties. And I guess, with technology, a lot of times we say, well, it's our fault. But I'm gonna just say it may have been my fault. Maybe I didn't know what I was doing, but I've done this over and over forever. So, but anyways, as you guys are logging in, we're gonna start with Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. But before I do that, I'm going to do as I always do. I'm going to do some things with my hair. Before the last week or last when I was on last time with cyber reading, I did the introduction, but this week we're going to talk about what's happening to my hair. We're going to talk about that. That's chapter 1. So if you haven't ordered your book, it's been several weeks, so you guys have had plenty of time to get your book. If you haven't, you can go to my website, lisaakbari.com, or you can go on Amazon and you can find it. Sometimes they have some really, really good sales. And so let's get started. So we're going to start with my hair. I've got it pulled back. And of course, I've got my trusty scrunchie. There we have it. And so I'm just going to do one style and get right in it since we're so late. So I'm just going to bring my hair down. It's gotten so long. Well, it's gotten longer. I mean, it's gotten longer, but it's not that much difference in the lengthwise. So I'm going to just take it. I feel like I'm hearing somebody buzz their phones. So I'm going to start with pulling this part down. And I'm going to do something like, it's really more like a 70s look. And I was noticing that all of this is coming back around this 70s style. So I'm going to pull everything straight down. And I'm just basically using I'm buzzing. That may be me. I'm using my fingers and thumb. That's my phone buzzing, but I'm going to leave it. Let it buzz, let it buzz. And I'm just smoothing straight down, like with an opening in the center. And then I'm going to swing this part over. This was like something that was really a big deal in the 70s. Bring this over. I know the 70s, you're like, 70s? It's 2016. But this style, and I'm dating this horribly and telling my age all at the same time. How could you do so much of that? But I don't care. So I just want to make sure that you see this look. We brought it down, and this was one of the things we did because since my hair is longer now, and I'm just going to do like what I call the French lace and just open it up to get that whimsical bang. And then I'm just going to take this and fluff this so that my fro is kind of like a C shape. So you got this C here. So you have here and my fro. Let me see if I can do something with the screen. That way you can see the top. There we go. And so here it is. There we are, and there it is, and there we go. So I've got this nice little, we actually did these kinds of things, and we brought it on one side, and sometimes you pull it behind the ear, and you were doing really cutesy things. And smooth that out, and pat it down, and you had your fro. So there we are. So I just did my fro, just stretched out my fro. Okay, so we're going to start the book, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age. And this just talks about just kind of so you guys will know some of the things that I spoke about in my introduction. And if you haven't had a chance to get your book yet, so please do get it on my website, lisaakbari.com, or on Amazon. Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age. And on the front cover, you'll see the different hair, like straight, and then Asian, and then you have the curly. I think that's, yeah, like a permanent wave. You have the actual curly African-American natural hair, and kind of a red tone to a straighter hair. This one just kind of gets all of that, like the Latino. So it has all of the types of hair. And with relaxed hair, I do speak about it in the book, but it just talks about our hair. But the main thing is it talks about how we are and how, as we get older, does our hair change? Those things are important. So one of the things I touched on the last time we were on in my introduction is I touched on real freedom begins with our mind, and we talked a little bit about that in Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. And what is aging hair? We're going to answer that. And aging hair defined. Those things are important. What is the aging hair? So the first chapter we're going to talk about is what's really happening with my hair. What's happening with my hair as I get older? What's really happening with my hair? So we're going to talk about those things. Okay. It says age is a question of the mind or over matter, or does it really matter? Interesting. In this chapter, you will learn about how your personality, you as an individual, relates to your hair, and about how personal life changes, which really affects life changes and changes within your body as you age, can lead to decisions about how you treat your hair. And these decisions all too often lead to choices that can actually age your hair. Just like your face can age, your skin, in other words, your actual hair can age. So that's important that you keep that in mind. Okay, let's see if I got enough light there. And I'm going to kind of scoot up a little bit. There I am. There we are, so you can see me. I'm not so washed out there. And so I think it's important to understand, for instance, you may do things that seem to be really harmless to your hair. Sometimes you just want to feel better about yourself and about your hair. Sometimes you just want to have a change. The problem is some of these reasons, because they're not well thought out, can prompt to do things that can cause aging damage to your hair. First, we must agree that how we behave in certain situations will determine what happens down the road. Understanding this, and we touched a little bit on this in Black Woman's Guide, but we're going to go more in depth with this particular book, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age. Wisdom that will help you stop, think before you act, so you pay attention when your mind sends up those flags. Remember, we talked about cleansing the mind and thinking different. The reason why I'm not playing pop psychologist on you. The reason why I put these things in about the mind is because a lot of times we really view our hair differently. We have all of these thoughts about our hair, and that's why we can't have hair natural with body, wearing our fro free. We have to braid it down, weave it down, flat iron it, do all these things instead of enjoying our hair. Or if we're relaxing our hair, we end up over processing it. We do all these things that cause problems, and the reason is because of not truly understanding our hair. So we touched on that a little bit in Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair, and now I'm really going to talk about it even more in Every Woman's Guide. So we're just talking about what could really happen to our hair. What is happening with our hair when we have all these changes? As we get older, does it really make a difference? Is our hair supposed to stop growing? Is our hair supposed to thin out? Are we really supposed to have these problems just because we've gotten older? Is our hair supposed to grow slower? Is this really true? So this is what we're going to uncover in this book. Just kind of peel off the layers of the way we think and then decide what's true and what's not. And then we'll have some tools to work with so we can have some wonderful forward movement as it relates to our hair. We have the hair we want now and for years to come. Now, I'm not implying that all your hair problems are caused from your behavior, but studies have shown hair breakage and some scalp disorders and even certain forms of baldness like alopecia stem from neglect, abuse, poor hair, and scalp care habits and choices. We seem to face with many of these things, and they occur more and more as we age. I am aware that there are causes of some hair and scalp problems that are beyond our control. Let's stick for now to the things that we can control, because there are some things we can't control. Over the years, some have grouped all hair and scalp problems into one big pile and blamed all of their problems on anything, anybody other than ourselves. And we've got to own it up. I'm really big on owning stuff. If I did it, if it happened around me, let me get some control, pray for the grace to be able to own what I'm doing with my hair. Because I know that you say you're a victim because you go to the salon, you're trusting someone, you have transition, now you don't know what to do with your hair, you just have that kind of hair. You have all these things that you say in your mind about your hair, but we have more control than we think we have. And that's what we're going to talk about. And as we age, those things don't have to change. I have young hair. I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm not a teenager anymore. Okay. All right. So, and I still have young hair, and it's all about how we take care of our hair and how much we get to understand and know our hair. And then when we get to that point, then we can have the hair we want for now and for years to come. There are consequences of these spur of the moment things that we do. A lot of these spur of the moment decisions that we make, we may pay for them with hair damage. Understand that I am not here to take away the spontaneity. We want to be spontaneous. We want to do these things. We want to say, hey, today I want to do something. I want to live my life and not live a boring life. I am actually going to teach you how to fulfill all your whims and all your dreams. And most importantly, I'm going to empower you to take care of your hair safely without aging your hair. That's going to be pretty cool. By policing your behavior, you will have young, vibrant hair with a style or any style that you want at any age. The number one thing is that I hear from women when I counsel, because I counsel a tremendous amount of women who are losing hair. I'm a trichologist. They're sitting there, they're talking to me, and even cosmetologists out there, they're speaking with their clients because they're wanting to know, well, what's wrong? And the clients tell them whether they ask or not. Well, this is the number one thing that I'm hearing. Some people say something like, all I did was simply go into a salon one day, ask for something specific, and came out with something totally different from what I requested. In other words, they're shifting that blame of their hair problems on their stylist. Now you say, she did go in, the stylist did do the work, but hear me out. I am aware that many stylists make mistakes and the clients pay and suffer dearly for them. However, you have more control than you think concerning your salon visits, as well as other situations during these calamities. Once you recognize that you can, and you can gain control of your situation, you will lessen those hair problems, and you will be on your way to understanding how to be in charge of almost every hair situation, every hairstyle that you ever will have. Gaining control to stop the permanent aging. And this is what this whole series is about. Aging hair. How are we stopping that aging, the thinning, the breakage, the dryness, the aging like you would with your face? How do I stop the wrinkles? But you're going to do this with your hair. We're going to stop aging. Now, how did I really learn to help? See, this is the biggie. A lot of people go, how did you know what to do? How do you know exactly what I'm doing with my hair? Well, let me just tell you. I came up with my conclusions after being in the hair industry for over 30 years, and it's a lot longer now. Let me tell you, working in the salon side of the industry first as a hairstylist, because I styled hair for many years, doing all the hands-on cutting, coloring, styling. Now I'm a trichologist, researching, conducting studies, writing about it, analyzing hair year after year. I have watched patients with the same hair problems over and over again in a never-ending cycle. Many women just don't get it. And early on, I really didn't get it as well. I really didn't understand what was going on. Back in my styling days, I could not understand why some of my clients seemed to have more hair and scalp problems than other. I thought it must be stress, nerves, diet. It sounds familiar, right? People will tell you you have stress, nerves, diet. And don't forget about the most popular reason why they say we're losing hair. It's because of age. Hmm, okay. Surely getting older must have something to do with it. And I thought that must be the case for my clients. Of course, all of these things that I really thought, some of it just did not make sense. So I did a role play. Because the overall health imbalance of the body can sometimes establish how healthy the hair grows, but mere mention of health would have my patients going on into this whole little, they would get off track. They would say, okay, it must be my health. So I said role play, but what I did was I mentioned that health could play a role in it. And I know a lot of you out there are saying, okay, yes, it must be my diet. It must be I may not be drinking enough water. That's why my hair is dry. You say all of these things and you think that's the aging hair. So I looked at the people who put their care of their hair in my hands. I began to take a very close look at everything that they did. And I went on a mission to really fix everything. I put together the best hair and scalp care program for each individual who came through my door. I started with a full hair and scalp analysis and clinic treatments to stabilize the problems. Once the problems were stable, like once they stop having itchy scalp, flaky scalp, tender scalp, thinning, once they stop having breakage, then I put together a home program and additional counseling for their hair and their regular stylist. I recommended regular follow-up examinations and treatments to ensure that they stayed on track and we were able to maintain that stability that I achieved in stabilization while we're preventing new problems from occurring. So I watched them very closely. Now, unfortunately, my program worked for some, but it didn't work for others. And some of the ones it did work for seemed to encounter a setback or two after a while. I found myself in a situation where I did not understand what was going on and what to do. Believe me, I have been there before. As I tried many times to conquer the hair situations of women, I said to myself, there's something more. I must be overlooking something. Then I realized I was trying to fix a problem that was not solely my problem to fix. I needed to involve the patient in a way that I hadn't done before. So I began to notice and record the things that were said to me and whenever we had the hair problem. I also looked at what was going on in that particular patient's life at the time that they had the setbacks. That was very important. Think about this, ladies, and listen to me. We're getting very deep today. Finally, I began to compare the various behaviors. It was weird. And like I said, I'm not playing pop psychology here. I'm just telling you what's going on. Your hair and how your hair ages is going to be determined in a certain point in your life, how you treat your hair, your habits. And just hold on and listen up. I found that when a patient was going through a challenge in life, a certain level of negative in their hair and scalp care program. Okay, let's see, in life, a certain level of neglect, in hair and scalp care program was apparent. Most of those cases involve life-altering changes such as a divorce, a new job, a new boyfriend, becoming a mom. My patients would express that they felt the need, they felt forced to change things about the way they looked. It is as if their hair was just going along for the ride. They were kicking and screaming. Their hair is your hair. Oh no, I don't want to do that. That's going to damage us. Yeah, I'm deep about hair. I know it. Trying to hold on to every single strand, or shall I say every single hair or thread or strand. Depending on the situation, the change may be subtle, it may be drastic, anything from a simple haircut to a permanent relaxer, permanent wave, permanent color, anything. It was nothing wrong with change. There were many times when change was good. Here I am talking about impromptu, hasty changes that end up causing aging damage to your hair and scalp. And that's the key. Is this change that I'm making because I have a special trip, my child's getting married, I have a new man in my life, I got a divorce, something's going on, I got a new job. These changes, these sudden changes, what am I considering with my hair? I've got to have some added hair, weave, sew in, because I have to have a relaxer, I have to have color, I have gray, so I have to cover it. What are these changes? What are we doing? Are we aging our hair? Are we stopping and saying, okay, this is how we're going to do this. We're going to do these things, but we're going to take our time and we're going to make sure it happens properly. No, we don't do that. We start to pressure everyone around us. It looked like, for example, you may say, I need to change my hair color. It looks too drab. Or you might say, I want my hair curly. I want my hair straight today. When you end up with scalp damage and hair damage, you blame it on stress. You blame it on other things. You must recognize and analyze the hair change before making it. You have to look at the pros and cons. This is important so that you don't damage your hair and scalp in the process of making these changes. Changes are good. You just got to make sure you look at everything, step back, take a few minutes, just do the research, ask complete questions of your stylist, and wait for complete answers. Crucial, very, very important. I want you to get the look you desire while behaving as you should. You may ask, how? First, stop being a victim. Stop letting others talk you into doing things to your hair without you first knowing everything there is to know about this particular change that you're making with your hair. Second, stop asking for things to be done just because it feels right or it feels fashionable. Stop asking for it, okay? Third, understand that an ounce of prevention, you know the rest, is worth a pound of cure. Whoa, Lisa. Okay, especially as it relates to your hair and scalp. Finally, remember that education is power. The more you know about your hair before you act, the more you're going to control your hair and your hair situations. All these things will help you behave as you should as it relates to your hair, while currently influencing others to behave as they should. I guarantee you will see a difference in how healthy your hair is, how full of life your hair is. Shake, shake, shake. Have you ever seen a fro shake like that? I guarantee you that. Each and every time, each and every life cycle, no matter how much older you get. Now, I know there are other things. That can occur. There can be some internal follicular problems, and you can have problems with hair. But what I've seen, I've been in this industry more than 30 years, almost 40 years. And as a trichologist, I've practiced more than 20 years. And I'm telling you, I have seen it almost all. If it's happened, I've seen it. Okay. And I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. And this is why I do this show each and every week. I have my own talk show, radio talk show on WDIA, and it's iHeartRadio every Sunday from, may as well do the little commercial, right? Every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm talking about hair every Sunday. Every week, I'm blogging, doing a cyber reading, opening up my book to you, reading it with commentary, because I know that God has given me the answer, and that's what I'm sharing with you. Other professionals out there, I'm working with them to help them with their clients, but I'm just saying to you, it's going to be crucial that you become empowered so that you can help yourself. Think about it, and we're going to end the blog pretty soon, but before making the hair change, before changing your hair, I'm just going to go over a list of things that I want you to do. 11 things we want to think about. Before changing your hair in any way, first ask yourself some simple questions and do an overall self-examination. Number one, why am I making this hair change? Why am I doing it? Number two, is my hair and scalp ready to survive the new changes? Important, one we don't think about. Number three, is this hair change really what I want? Or do I feel forced to do it? That's one to think about. Number four, is this change safe? Most never think about that. Number five, how will this change affect my hair and scalp? Number six, if I don't like the change, am I willing to stay with the change until my hair and scalp is ready for a change back? Or yet another change. Number seven, have I found the correct hair care professional to make this change for me? Number eight, will this hair change cause me to become stressed out? Number nine, can I take care of this hair change? Number 10, am I willing to follow a strict hair and scalp care program after the change? And number 11, is this something I really want to do? If you've answered these questions and you still really want to do it, but do the homework. If answering these questions, you decide to make this hair change anyway, then this next step, it's time for the next step. Number one, we're going to do our research, which will include finding the right professional, help with the change. If you research and find that there are too many risks involved in making this change and you don't have the right professional, do not behave negatively. Do not make that change anyway. And this is what happened with aging hair. We just do it anyway. We just say, I couldn't help it. I needed this done. And that's not the way. And then we end up with problems. You end up in a clinic like mine is what happens. Review questions. What chemicals for example, I think it will be appropriate to let's use chemical services, because many people are running from chemical services because they feel that the chemical caused their hair to come out. All right. Okay, we can take that. So let's start with chemical services as an example. Permanent waves, relaxers, hair colors. These are some of the leading causes of hair and scalp damage and hair loss among women. Okay, what are some of our research questions? Number one, research question number one, which chemical will be used? Number two, what are the dangers of this particular chemical? Number three, what effects will the chemical have on my hair type? Okay, my hair type. Number four, what percentage of hair loss occurs when these types of chemicals are used on a hair type such as mine? Not talking about what happens with your girlfriend's hair. I'm talking about what happens with your hair. What should I expect the outcome to be? And that's number five. And number six, how often can I safely for my hair do these chemicals? These are good research questions. Once you have researched as much as you can about the chemicals, you should start researching professional help. because then you have your questions from your research. Now, I know you say, well, this is a lot to do. Well, how many of you cry yourself a river when you lose your hair? Okay, so I don't think it's too much to do, right? I think we'll agree. Once you have done the research as much as you can, it's time to find that professional. Number one, who has the experience working with this type of chemical on my type of hair? Number two, can he or she answer questions that I have about the chemicals? You've done the research. If they can't answer those questions from your research, that's the wrong professional for you. End of discussion. You've got to keep that in mind, ladies. You've got to stop and take this time. Number three, can I talk with some of his or her clients who have received the chemical service and who have my hair type? Now, this seems like impossible to arrange that meeting. It may seem impossible, but you know what's possible? A phone meeting. And you're thinking, I'm not doing all of this. Well, let me tell you, you're listening to this blog and you're listening to me and you're watching me live or you're watching the archive because you got hair problems. You're interested. Well, let me tell you guys, it's not just that easy. The ease, what makes it easy? That we take control. And the way we take control is by paying attention to what we do to our hair and scalp, making choices. You know what I'm saying? I'm now doing yes, I have control of my hair. So I'm now with Girl Chat. I have my Fitbit on. I'm overweight. So I have to walk. I have to be active. And if I'm going to do something different about my body and my health and keep myself young and moving around as I age, get older, then I've got to do the work. You've got to do the work with your hair. So that's where it is. Oops, there it is. Okay, we want to prevent this. So this week, we're going to do a little lead work beforehand. Okay, we're not going to be able to arrange that meeting, but we can actually call and ask for a phone appointment. Is a maintenance hair and scalp program offered? So once you get this chemical, once you get this hairstyle, once you grow natural, how do you maintain your hair? And what needs to be done for proper upkeep? That's a part of maintenance. By doing this lead work beforehand, ladies, you will be less likely to have problems afterwards as you become educated and follow the steps laid out in this guide. Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age. You will be ready for any hair change. See, I'm not about taking away. I tell my patients this all the time. I don't want to take away your toys. I don't want to take away your choices. I just want to help you with those choices. I want you to be empowered so that when you start working with your hair and your scalp, you're not scratching your scalp and your hair is not falling on your shoulders. Your hair's not breaking. You're not dry and brittle. I want to make sure of that. Next week, we're going to talk about preventing aging of our hair and scalp. How do we prevent that aging damage? We're going to talk about that. I'm pretty excited about that. And then we're going to talk about taking the time to do it. We may even go on into our next chapter will be, does aging affect my hair? I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. It's been great. I'm so excited to be here today. And I'm telling you guys, I really am, because I should have started this book several weeks ago, and I've just had technical difficulties. Plus, I've been super busy. But you guys are really important to me, so sometimes I may do it at a different location. But I'm going to do this. I'm either going to do it on Thursday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I'm going to do my cyber reading. But I'm every Sunday. You know that I'm on my show every Sunday. And that's on. You can look on my website for the schedule, and it has all the shows that we're going to be talking about. And so, but I just want you here. I want you to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube page so that you can get those alerts when I'm doing something new. Today, I tweeted out me pulling my hair back. So there was a pretty cool video. I did part 1 and part 2. So make sure you go on my Twitter page and look for, it's a YouTube video. But today, today, I'm going to date this video September the 1st, 2016. And my videos are around for years. I have hundreds of videos. But this one, you can still, and you can email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com if you can't find them. But it's pulling your hair back flat, natural hair. Yes, natural hair. Isn't that pretty cool? So I have two videos, a part 1 and part 2. It's pulling your hair back without breakage. That's the name of the video, part 1 and 2. So I tweeted that today. And I'm going to try to do some new video every time I come on the air. So I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. If you're just tuning in, you've missed the show, but it's going to be archived. So make sure you tune in to me Sunday when we do our live broadcast on WDIA and iHeartRadio. And then we'll be back here next week to continue our cyber reading, where we'll complete chapter 1 and move right into chapter 2. Does aging affect your hair? That's a big question. We need to answer that. And so, but we're going to end the blog now. Thank you so much. To God be the glory in Jesus. I love you. You know I do. And I'll see you next week right here. And let me start first. You know, it's only fair to you guys. I'm going to see if I have a chat. I was about to close the show, but you know what? I need to see if we have a chat, because if I have a chat, then I can answer that question, because I have not looked over for that question. So guys, I do absolutely do apologize. Let's see if this one is already up. That may not be. Let's see. Okay, that one. So let's go back. All right, here we go. We should be live here. Okay, so do because if I have a chat. There we go. All right, let's see. I don't think I have one. You guys are not. No one asked the question. Does anyone have a question before we go off the air? So I just want to make sure of that. Let's push it on and let's get. Here we go. If you don't have a question for me, then I'm going to end the show now. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and I will see you next week right here on Ask the Hair Doctor. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening.